Welcome to Takeoff, a Points and Miles podcast by 10X Travel. I'm your host, Bryce, and today I'm joined by the full crew. Emily, Travis, Matt, how are we doing today?
Solid. Great. Glad to be back.
I'm doing good. Yeah, we are all back together, although our listeners won't know that we've missed a beat, but we haven't recorded one of these in like 6 weeks. So a little sneaky insight into behind the scenes of how these things work.
Yeah, but the good thing about that is that 6 weeks worth of experiences and stories that we'll get to share. So, you know, it's the necessary trade-off.
Yep. I've been home though, so I won't have any stories to contribute to this. So I'm excited to hear about all the fun things.
Well, in honor of the recent Taylor Swift news coming out, and the reason why we haven't recorded for 6 weeks, I am happy to say it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. By the way. So has Travis, hanging out in Europe for a while. Travis, we'll go with you first. How was your trip?
It was great. So I spent about a week in Italy at Lake Como at the Grand Hotel Victoria, which is an SLH property and can be booked with Hilton points.
Speaking of underrated destinations.
I don't know that that's really an underrated. I mean,
yeah.
I will say it's one of the few places I've been that's been better than I expected it to be. So not a lot, like a lot of places just end up being, yeah, that was nice. Lake Como definitely much nicer and much better experience than I expected it to be. Spent a week there and then I headed up to Ireland, to the north of Ireland. I did go to Northern Ireland, which for many Americans out there who may not know or remember, Northern Ireland is its own country. It's part of the United Kingdom. So I was in the north part of the country of Ireland, and they get really upset when you're up there if you say you're in Northern Ireland. So
okay.
It's like when you go to the new part of Mexico and you say, I was in New Mexico. No, not the state, just like the new part of Mexico.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No. It's basically the same thing. Yeah. Uh-huh. But it was great. Did some diving with some of my friends, including like one of our award bookers, Greg. So he is also a scuba diver and a friend, longtime listener who finally got convinced to get into points. Ben was up there with me. So we had a good time doing some diving. Actually, like booked a number of award flights while we were up there for a dive trip we've got next year. So, you know, it was like a hybrid points journey and dive trip.
Yeah.
Give the listeners some insight into like what diving for you actually is.
I don't think it dives.
Because we have very different definitions of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. It's moderately cool water, like 50 to 60 degrees. We were there to dive some shipwrecks. There's a lot of shipwrecks up there. It's called Malin Head. Most are around like 200 to 225 feet deep and like 2 to 4 hour boat rides out. So, you know, we would hop on this little boat, jaunt out for 4 hours, jump in the water for 2 or 3 hours, and then do another like 3 or 4 hour boat ride back. It was some long days. It was some tiring days, but it was great. It's some of the best wreck diving that I've done. Just some really cool ships up there. So,
and humans do this for fun?
Yeah, exactly.
There were a few days where the swells were bad and we were questioning our own sanity a little bit. So we sometimes do it for fun. We sometimes do it for self-torture, I guess.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's a lot of days up there in the North Atlantic where it's like a nice calm sea. Just picture constant chaos.
The guy whose boat we're on has been posting pictures and now it's all nice and bright and sunny, and he said that we got atypical weather, but I don't know.
I'm sure you could find some last minute availability.
Yeah,
I probably could.
Go right back.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a good trip. I just got back from Europe myself. Did not overlap with Travis, although I was briefly tempted to reach out and be like, hey, want to meet in Rome? But I was in Germany for a few days and then in Sicily for about 5 weeks with my entire family, just hanging out in Airbnb. Had a wonderful time. A lot smoother oceans than Travis. I imagine. I also did some diving off the side of a catamaran into the Mediterranean Sea. Maximum depth was maybe 12 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, had a wonderful time. Everything went great until the flight home was absolute chaos. Was flying Delta because they're the only ones who have a direct flight from Catania in Sicily back to the United States. Actually paid cash because it was a reasonable fare. And it might have been the worst travel experience of my entire life because the flight was canceled like with 5 minutes prior to boarding. They'd actually put some people on the plane already. Some mechanical issue, rescheduled for like the next day and then delayed a few times. But it was that classic European delay situation where because the laws are different over there about like what airlines are responsible for, you basically go to like airline detainment camp, I guess would be like a way of kind of phrasing it. They just put you all on a bus, haul you over to some hotel. It's basically like almost like a low-end Holiday Inn, like nothing super exciting. Gave us one room for our family of 5 with 2 twin beds, but because it was for a family, they brought one extra pillow for one of the twin beds because like that's
so nice.
Things. Yeah.
So someone pillow shared between 3 children?
Well, yeah, I guess one extra pillow. So 2 pillows on one bed, 3 on the other. And I guess that works for 5 people. So yeah, someone walked into our room because they were assigned the same room like an hour and a half later. That's always fun. Elevator did not work on our floor. And one of my kids can't do stairs. So every time we had to leave, had to go down a flight, call it up. That was fun. But survived, eventually got back, had to overnight in New York at the TWA hotel, which feels like it's like half points and miles people in it at any given time. I had mixed feelings on that one. But finally made it home and good to be here. And that was only like, 24 hours ago. So I'm still a little jet lagged here. Those of you on YouTube might be able to see it in the face, but good to be back and had a great trip overall.
I have a question for you, Bryce, and this might get you in some retroactive trouble.
Uh-oh.
I like those kind of questions.
Since your flight was canceled, why didn't you use your credit card insurance to book a nicer hotel?
Great question. And actually had that thought, and I'll walk you through it. So I guess to start, I did use it to book a second room. Which was somehow worse than the first one. I still need to file that claim. And I did get my first EU 231, is it, compensation of my life?
261, I believe.
261? Yeah. They already paid that in like 12 hours.
Really?
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Usually you have to fight for that.
No. Yeah. Well, in this one, I think they knew they were really at fault. But yeah, I have a bunch of reimbursements to file for that, and we'll get good coverage. But the amount of like airport hotels around Catania is not what you expect like as an American. Usually it's like, all right, there's 5 or 6 choices. They all have shuttles. No, like there's very few options within like 20 minutes of the airport. None of them have shuttles. A lot of them are really low end, and they were all sold out very quickly because there were a number of flights canceled that day. So I did look into those options and decided to just stick with the group. But on the silver lining side, it was kind of fun to have like a little bit of a bond with this group of people. We felt like we were in this like awful reality show.
You're on Survivor.
Yeah, like they like cleared out some sad, empty like wedding venue and used that to feed us. You get like a preset menu, not in like the good way, like, oh, it's a restaurant in Europe with a preset menu. It's like, here's a piece of paper. It says like value menu, like according to terms from Delta Airlines. Here's what you're eating. There's no choices. So it was roughing it there for almost 2 days delayed, but yeah, we're home now, so that's what matters. Good trip.
Home just in time for a podcast recording.
Indeed.
And Taylor Swift's 12th album.
Yep.
You made it.
Yep.
Surprised you're not wearing orange today.
I mean, I considered it briefly, but rocking a little bit of a tan here as a very white guy who doesn't tan very much, and I figure orange is probably not my color in this season. So
yeah.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about some underrated destinations you can book with Points and Miles. But before we do kick off, a quick reminder that if you are brand new to Points and Miles, check out episodes 1 through 6 of this show for some of the basic fundamentals. You also want to join our Facebook group, now over 400,000 members, give you some daily inspiration, other folks sharing trips like this, ask questions. It's a fantastic place to hang out. And remember that if you still have burning Points and Miles questions, we have 10X Travel Plus, that is our paid membership program, where you can get one-on-one consults with members of our team, discounts on our award booking services, and more. All that is linked in the show notes. That is a great way to get personalized advice and hopefully get you to some of these underrated destinations earlier. So speaking of underrated destinations, that's going to be the focus of today's episode. We're breaking away from the usual suspects, the Japan, Italy, Maldives, We're going to talk about some incredible destinations that somehow fly under the radar for points and miles redemptions until maybe after we post this episode. These aren't just hidden gems for the sake of being different. These are places that offer incredible experiences, better award availability, lower point costs, fewer crowds than perhaps some of the more famous counterparts. Might we call this a dupe episode? Or are we still in dupe jail?
Don't. Dupe jail is...
Okay. Still in dupe jail.
It's
Confirmed.
everlasting.
Each of us is going to be sharing one destination that we are genuinely excited about with some specifics around redemption strategies, why we think more people should look into it, and more, as well as a few shout outs to some additional places to consider, and some rapid fire questions at the end, and all the usual banter that you can come to expect from Takeoff. So, friends, are we ready to jump back in?
No, because now I just feel like there's way too much pressure to have the banter that we expect from Takeoff.
Yeah, well, we will do our best. So, because Travis spoke up first, and I've been talking for quite some time, Travis, do you want to go first with your featured destination?
Why not? I'll set the bar high.
Okay, banter high too, please. Max banter.
So I picked a destination that I've personally been to. It's not my first full points trip, but it's actually the first place that I went after getting into points. And it's a place that I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before that I still think about. And that's Nicaragua. Nicaragua is such a super underrated destination, especially compared to its neighbor to the south, Costa Rica. But it really shouldn't be. You know, a lot of people get worried about some of the past politics and stuff that happened there. Honestly, probably before any of us were even born. I don't know exactly when that happened. But I did my research, because anytime someone tells me a place is dangerous, what I do is I just look up the crime rate. And the crime rate in Nicaragua is significantly lower than the United States. So despite its reputation you might hear, you are probably a lot safer there than you are here, and sometimes on multiple orders of magnitude.
Quick banter insertion here. Don't you love how people always have that concern around past politics of a country? Yet you and I were just in Italy, a country that fought against the United States in World War II, and no one ever blinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Answer done. Continue.
Yeah. I mean, well, probably because they've got pasta. So.
Right.
That's fair. Pasta diplomacy is a real thing.
I did eat a lot of carbonara whenever I was there. So.
Oh yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for Costa Rica, and I'm not saying it's a dupe, but if you're looking for that kind of jungle luxury-ish, you're not going to get as nice a luxury experience, but if you're looking for kind of that more low-key jungle, off the beaten path place to go, Nicaragua really is great. There's a ton of unique stuff to do there. I will say, if you're looking for the best resort spa that you can find in Central America, it's probably not for you. But if you're really looking for kind of a bit more of a raw, authentic, unique experience, it's really, really nice. It's a little bit less developed tourism infrastructure, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means that most places you go are not just tourist traps swarmed with tours. A lot of them are more authentic experiences. So how do you get there? It's actually pretty easy to get there with points. Your primary routes are going to be either American, who flies to Managua, the capital, from Miami.
Wait,
that's
so
not
you might have to lay over in Miami?
Yeah, which I did. I did.
How'd it go?
I was delayed 3 hours, so not too bad.
Yeah.
Probably my
pretty
best
good for
Miami experience, actually. Yeah, but you can fly there. I've seen it as low as 8,000 American Airlines miles one way, which makes it even more accessible now that there's a new card that transfers.
Yeah.
Or not a new card. There's a new there's a bank that finally added American as a transfer partner, and it seems permanent this time. So those are a lot more accessible than they used to be. The other way you can pretty reliably get there is, of course, from Houston, as expected, flying on United. That you'd want to book with Air Canada miles for 10,000 points. United was charging 20,000 directly. There is a third option. You can fly Avianca that has a fifth freedom from Fort Lauderdale, but I could not find any availability over a couple of months, so I wouldn't really consider that reliable. And honestly, like, it's not going to be cheaper than the American route out of Miami anyway. So
I can't believe you're leaving out another travel option.
are you talking about the Spirit flight from
There you go.
Orlando?
I think Lauderdale too, but yes.
Yeah. Matt, enlighten us on the Spirit route that you're intimately.
Oh, let me tell you, not familiar at all, but I just know that that's also an option to Managua.
Yeah, I saw it and I excluded it because most of the flights were like, honestly, like weirdly expensive when I was searching, like $300 to $400. So you'd spend more points to book it even through a portal than you would the American or United options.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Didn't want to
buzzballs.
challenge you not doing your homework. I knew you had done your homework.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You're keeping me on my toes. You're keeping me
Yep,
on my
bingo.
toes. So where are you going to stay once you get there? There are, when I say that it's a little off the beaten path, right, you're not getting these larger resorts that you're typically going to find in places like Costa Rica. Nicaragua is a place where SLH through Hilton really shines, as well as the smaller boutique Mr. and Mrs. Smith properties through Hyatt. Probably the most famous points option out there is Kalala Island or Kalala Island. I'm not really sure like what the inflection on that last syllable is supposed to be, but
It's Kalala, actually.
Emphasis on the first syllable.
Kalala.
Kalala. All right. Well, if you want to go to Kalala Island, which I think actually is like all inclusive, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard
I think maybe
journey.
maybe less alcohol, but yes.
The journey to get there is quite a
intense.
beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once you
Like
after the flight. I don't want to
Yeah,
say
'cause-
it's like a rowboat there, but I think it's like pretty close.
It's a skiff.
Yeah. Like that captures Nicaragua perfectly, right? Like you're not going to get the grandest of experience everywhere, but like you're going to get a nice experience once you get where you're going. What I'll say is you can also like check in our Facebook group. None of us have been, I don't think, but a number of people in our Facebook group have been. And like when people notice availability, they'll put it in there to let people know because like it looks really nice.
Yeah. I think there's like a pretty good chance that you'll be there with other points and miles people when you go
probably.
there. Because
Just go to the bar, set like your favorite card that we talk about all the time on the top of the bar and wait like 30 seconds and you're going to be talking about like cents per point,
yeah.
you know, for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say that Kalala Island is like the most well known, but with Hyatt's Mr. and Mrs. Smith, there's a few that came up as well, like Morgan's Rock Hacienda, which is in San Juan del Sur. That's on the Pacific side. I'm not a surfer. I prefer being under the water rather than on it, but San Juan del Sur is known to be a great surf destination. I know that because when I went to Nicaragua, people were like, "Did you go surfing in San Juan del Sur?" And I said, "I did not go surfing in San Juan del Sur, but
I attempted to.
oh, you did?"
Oh,
Well, we had surfing lessons. I went on a trip when I was in high school as part of
Oh
like
yeah, I
a
remember this.
summer break like volunteer program, and I got really sick, and I had recovered enough to try and do the surf lesson until I passed out on the beach, and then they were like, maybe not.
Oh.
Maybe let's get her some AC and some water, and we'll try again later.
Man, we're really selling Nicaragua here.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a great job.
If you're not a surfer though, one of the properties that I came across is called Hikaro Island Lodge. It's in Granada, which is this old colonial town. I actually stayed not at this property, but in Granada, and it's like one of my favorite little towns that I've been to in Central America. But what's really cool about this property is there's a volcano nearby, and over the past it's erupted, and in Lake Nicaragua has these small islands. So this property is actually on one of them. They call them the isletas. So this is actually on one of the isletas, which most of them are just kind of nice big houses, and this is just one that's been converted into a little hotel. So
How do you get insurance for a house that's on a volcano? I'd be curious to know that.
You can't
Sort of
you don't.
side note.
good question. I tell you what, why don't you go get a volcano house and tell us?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll report back.
Yeah. But yeah, this is like most of the places you're going to stay. If you're looking for that smaller boutique type experience, that's what you're going to get in Nicaragua, and part of what separates it from Costa Rica. You're going to get smaller, maybe not ultra luxury, but nice enough hotels or little casitas places. But that's how to get there and where to stay. Here's a few reasons why it's worth your time and should be on your radar. And honestly, it's just the diversity of things that you can do in Nicaragua that you really can't do. I mean, sure, some of these you can do somewhere else, but that in general you can't do everywhere else. You can go volcano boarding at Cerro Negro, which is basically like you climb to the top of this volcano, and I don't really know exactly how to describe it, but it's basically like sand on the sides that I guess is from volcano, and you get on these boards and like ride it down. It's like sledding on a volcano, basically.
They have that at the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado, and I will say it looks like a great way to break your wrist.
Well, and considering your luck in Nicaragua, you probably should avoid the volcano boarding.
This is true.
I already mentioned Granada. There's also Leon, the colonial cities to visit, which are just great. Laguna de Apoyo. I stayed a few nights at Laguna de Apoyo and really recommend it to a lot of people. You're not getting like luxury resorts, but it's this extinct volcanic crater that has filled in with water. So you're literally staying and swimming in a lake that is inside an old volcanic crater.
Cool.
That sounds pretty sweet.
It is pretty cool. Like most of the places around there are just like hostels, but there's a few resorty type places that you can go. We did one, had a little plunge pool, like beer. It's super cheap too. Like beers were like $1 or so. Now this was a couple of years ago, so now they're probably like $2, but really chill, rustic kind of, but like unique.
So basically the opposite of Santorini, with the only thing in common between the two is that you're on a volcano / caldera, but everything else is opposite. Okay.
Yeah, but this one
It's a
like
dupe. What do you mean?
It's an opposite dupe.
You can obviously go hiking volcanoes, and there's one there. I can't remember if it's Mombacho or Masaya, and it might not be either of those, but you can actually see the magma down inside the volcano. I have pictures from us doing this. It's one of the, I think they said there's 7 volcanoes in the world where you can hike to, and they're active enough, and I don't know, geologically active enough to where from the edge you can look in and see the magma inside. It's really cool. There's also a species of parakeet that has evolved there to live inside, so you're looking down and you just see these little birds flying around. It's really bizarre.
We're surrounded by liquid hot magma.
You know, I already mentioned the West Coast surfing. The Corn Islands, which is where Kalala Island is going to give you like some of the most pristine Caribbean type experiences that you're going to get to. And it's pretty easy to get to and really diverse enough of a place where you could do a weekend or spend multiple weeks. So that's Nicaragua. That's my pitch for it as an underrated destination, you know, that's really overlooked by Costa Rica or, you know, other super popular places like Belize in Central America.
Travis. Travis just stole my underrated
Not just stole it, like kind of threw it under the bus.
Yeah, he
threw it
did
into the
throw it under the
volcano.
bus.
Oh, you know, Shouldn't
Your
have let it
recommendation
go
is
for-
now magma.
Okay.
We threw it in the volcano.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we have to hop to that one next. This was not supposed to be a debate style episode.
I mean,
but, like, if we
how
wanna
did
go
you
that way,
think
I'm
it was
up.
going to end up?
Yeah,
I mean, we're
anything's a
going for
competition.
banter. So,
Yeah.
so bringing the banter from Belize, Emily, would you like to go next?
Jeez. Perfect. I'm so glad I already have one person who disagrees with me. Well, I picked Belize as my underrated destination. Yeah, I got to commit at this point. But for me, it's underrated just because of the geographical diversity. It's a tiny country, but you can go scuba diving, not shipwreck diving like Travis, but Great Barrier Reef, or not Great Barrier Reef, but second to the Great Barrier Reef diving. You can explore the jungle. You can go to Mayan ruins, all within the same trip because it's a pretty small area. It's much more laid back than other Caribbean destinations. But I think probably the main reason I'm considering it underrated is because it often gets kind of overshadowed by Costa Rica or Mexico. Both of those places are either super accessible or have like huge marketing budgets, and Belize doesn't really have that. So it's a little hard to compete against those heavy hitters. I'll give Travis a chance to disagree with everything I just said.
You don't even have
So
to give him a chance.
I-
Travis will just do it.
I actually just looked it up. I looked it up, and Nicaragua gets, now granted, Nicaragua is a significantly larger country, but Nicaragua gets about 1.2 million visitors a year, and Belize gets like 500,000 to 600,000. So
Wow.
yeah,
Going
just
for
means
more
Nicaraga's
underrated or
not
more
so
popular?
underrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Wait, you just argued against yourself.
I know.
I know.
I'll take that.
I know. How many to Costa Rica for comparison? Costa Rica gets like 3 million a year. So
Yeah.
Costa Rica gets more than Belize and Nicaragua combined. So
Yeah. Well, we can talk about getting there with points. I just did this trip in January of this year, so it's pretty fresh in my mind. You're not going to be going there on lie flat seats, but at least for me, it's a pretty short trip from Denver. There's a couple options. You can fly United nonstop. You can fly Southwest nonstop. There's flight routes on American and Delta. I personally flew United there and Southwest back. And I used points for the Southwest flight, but that'll kind of vary depending on what the cash price of the flight is. But I just did that because we had the companion pass, so easy choice there. And then the United flight, I think, was relatively inexpensive. I think it was maybe $200, so I'm pretty sure I paid cash for that. But the most surprising thing is that the inter-island flights, or the ones that take you out to the Keys, are much more expensive than the ones that get you into the country in the first place. So there are these tiny, like, I don't know, prop planes. I'm probably calling them the wrong thing. But I think it was probably like close to $300 a person one way for a 40-minute flight. 30 minutes. So
it sounds like once people realize that Belize is underrated, and it's no longer underrated, that we need to introduce some competition into these this market.
yeah.
well,
and reframe the positioning. Emily calls it tiny prop planes. I would call it semi-private flights.
there you go.
There we go. Now it's
Yeah.
$600.
there is the alternative is you can do the ferry ride out there, which is like 3 hours long. So
Yeah.
Oh, a
There's
3-hour
a bus
tour?
too. There's a
There's
bus
a
that's
bus?
like 4 hours. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a bus.
Yeah, there's a bus. I had to make the call that my time was worth more.
About $300.
Yeah.
We did the flight as well. It's just the way to go. Like the other ones, it takes so long versus the like 10-minute flight. Like it's kind of, honestly, I kind of look at it as like when you go to the Maldives and have to do like the seaplane, it's just the expense that you should expect to incur as part of going to Belize. Like there are cheaper and other ways of doing it if you want, but you're going to lose like your whole day basically to make something else work.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. But besides that, like getting to the country in general is, you've got a few options, and most of them are pretty inexpensive and relatively short trips. But once you're there, you've got a couple options in terms of hotel stays. What we ended up doing was an SLH hotel through Hilton. It was called Itzana on Placencia. So it's like a really small little fishing town that was great for diving. And the hotel or the resort itself was really beautiful. And I would definitely recommend looking at some of the other SLH options too through Hilton, just because of the transfer ratio, where you can go from 1 to 2 with one of the flexible currencies. But if you don't want to do that, there's also Hyatt. You can do some of the Mr. and Mrs. Smith hotel options for some other kind of like boutique resort style places. They're going to be a bit more expensive than you'd expect of a Hyatt, just because of the award chart on those. So don't be shocked by that. But those are some good options too. And then there's an Autograph Collection Marriott hotel, and I think Travis has stayed there before. If you've got any,
I have, yeah,
takes on that hotel.
I think it's called the Alila, or the Alula, something like that. It's like close to. There's a Hyatt like brand with a name that's very, very similar.
Yeah.
But there's not a Hyatt there. No, we really liked it. We had a good time. I think it's typically 50 to 65,000 points a night, so it's actually really nice if you've got a number of those 50K certificates. I think I was platinum when I went and got upgraded to a like giant corner suite with a full kitchen, which was nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like honestly, like one of the nicest upgrades that I've gotten before. Yeah, it was nice. Like it wasn't too big, maybe about 100-ish rooms, so big enough to have like some nice amenities, but small enough to not feel crowded the whole time.
Yeah. Yep, that's a nice spot too, sounds like. So there's definitely less of a footprint of like the traditional main brand hotels that you might expect, but because of the partnerships that some of these loyalty programs have, you can still find some great places to stay.
You know, I'm noticing a common theme that these underrated places don't have the large giant hotels there, and it's a lot more of the smaller boutique options that you've gotta look to.
So you're coming around to Belize being an underrated destination, it sounds like.
I think maybe that Travis is now officially a Belizer. I'm done. That's it.
Well, if you're looking for kind of some backup points as to why it would be worth your points, I'm in it for the diving for sure. There was some awesome diving. I think we saw a hammerhead shark at one point, so there were some crazy things to see, and it's really like, for me, it was way more colorful than the Great Barrier Reef when we dove in Australia. So great option if you're looking for that. There's
it is a
beaches.
barrier reef. It is
just not the great one.
It's the second largest barrier reef in the world.
It's a good one. It's not a great one.
But it sounds like it's first in your heart.
First in my heart. Well, Australia might be first in my heart because that's where we learned to dive. So that was very cool. But this one was the diving culture in Belize versus Australia was very different. Did you dive in Belize, Travis, or no?
No, I did not.
Yeah. This was very much
you didn't go dive the Big Blue Hole or whatever it's called?
No, I don't.
I'm surprised. I figured that'd be up your alley.
No, I really enjoyed the diving there. The diving culture is very much like I remembered how to do it from doing it the year before in Australia, but I was really nervous and they just kind of pushed me into the water and were like, "You'll remember." So
figure it out.
Yeah,
it's very casual. So that's great. The beautiful beaches are awesome. Our resort had its own little like private beach area, and the pool right there too was awesome. So if you're looking to just kind of like chill, it's a good chill area.
One thing that I really liked about our time there was at least the key that we were on, like there's no cars, it's just golf carts everywhere.
Yeah, the golf carts.
And I think that's most of the keys. So like, you know, you just rent a golf cart, get around. It just feels a lot more casual and laid back that way.
Yeah, that's for sure. The other thing you can do is like canopy tours. I'm pretty sure this is a very kind of like Costa Rican thing to think of as an activity, where you can go on the like zip lining tours through the canopies. You can do that here in Belize
That terrifies me.
Have you not?
You go
done it?
300 feet underwater.
Volcano.
Yeah. And
Like
you go through shipwrecks and you're worried about a steel cable and a harness? Come on now.
boom.
Yeah, like what if you don't stop in time, or what if it breaks and you fall, like, or what if there's an
golf
animal
cart
on it?
crashes,
Like, what if you get stuck?
All of those things apply underwater too.
Except there's oxygen where you're stuck on.
Well, yeah, exactly. I can hang out in the middle of a steel cable for hours and be fine. I've only got
I'd
so
probably
much
get
time
each episode.
underwater.
We're putting that to the test. Matt's going to be
Yeah.
reporting from a steel
yeah.
cable.
Well, I think I'll leave it with my one pro tip, which I don't know if it's really a pro tip, but it's just that the food was a lot more expensive than I was expecting it to be. Not that it was like way more expensive than, or not that it was more expensive than kind of like going to a restaurant at home, but just for like what you're eating, it was, I had a little bit of sticker shock.
Yeah. But well, I mean, not that this helps any, but pricing there is really easy because their currency is pegged to the US dollar. So it's
Yes.
like 2 of theirs for every 1 of ours. So it
Yeah.
does.
So it looks real expensive
Yes.
because everything
Yeah.
costs double.
Right. But even when you divide it in half, you're still kind of like, oh, well, that's still a little
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to import a lot of it, I'm sure, from
Yeah.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Well, and they have to go on that $300 40-minute flight too with all your bananas. So.
Yeah.
With all
Bananas can't take the bus,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No. Nope. Yeah. But
Awesome.
that's my pitch on Belize. Highly recommend as an underrated
I'd-
destination.
I'd vote for it as well. So
Yeah, I'd go. This sounds incredible. All of this, like I want to see the volcanoes. I want to go to Belize. I want to dive, like, I love underrated destinations.
I want to see the magma.
Magma.
it's really cool. Like, I know that I'm flipping this back on Nicaragua so that way everyone who's listening forgets about Belize, but like the magma's really cool.
Magma.
Because like the thing is you see it in movies when there's a volcanic eruption, and obviously those are fake, right? But like it's so loud and violent, and so you just think that's what it's going to be, but really it's just this liquid, so it kind of just sounds like the ocean.
Every time magma is mentioned in this episode, the editor has to put in
Magma.
magma.
Yeah, somehow
Dude,
magma
you're-
being like quiet makes it scarier. Like
Yeah.
sneaks up on
Yeah.
you. You know, I want the big explosion, nowhere to run kind of thing.
Okay.
Put me on a zip line instead of nowhere to
Yeah.
run. Yeah, I'll take the zip line over that.
All right, well, let's pivot to a different part of the world. Matt, can you tell us about your go-to underrated destination?
Well, I don't know about go-to because I've never been there, so I took a different approach than apparently everybody else is. I'm taking a pick that I want to go to but never have been.
Oh.
So we'll fly through this blindly. I picked Adelaide in the Barossa Valley in South Australia. Obviously, people talk about Australia, they're thinking the East Coast. So Great Barrier Reef, obviously up in Northern Australia, but Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, etc. No, you go a little bit further west. On the very bottom southern tip is Adelaide, kind of right, not quite the middle of Australia, but a little bit closer to central, but on the very bottom. So I think it's very overlooked because of that. One of the biggest things it's known for is the renowned wine region. So if you're into wine, or even halfway into wine, you have likely heard of the Barossa Valley, or you've heard of the wine type Shiraz or Shiraz, as I've learned that the local Australian people pronounce
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Can
didn't
you
know
do that
either.
with an Australian accent?
Sure can't, mate. But yeah, that's the Barossa Valley is one of Australia's popular regions, similar to like Napa or Sonoma or Willamette Valley here in the U.S. Got to get that pronunciation right. And another thing Adelaide is apparently known for, which I think this actually just is true of all of Australia, but the phenomenal food scene, allegedly. Haven't been, can't vouch for it, but everything I read and looked into it here continued to mention the food scene there as being really, really good. So you had me at wine and food. I'm not sure what else you need to win this argument. But,
I mean,
Where's the
getting-
magma?
Magma.
yeah, no magma, just wine and food. Yep. Getting there with points. This is kind of surprising to me, but United is launching a nonstop from San Francisco direct to Adelaide later this year in
Really?
December. So
Wow.
talk about going from underrated to potentially just whatever rated, I guess. This one might quickly be getting busted since they're getting nonstop U.S. service. But obviously, this trip to Adelaide is probably not going to be an isolated trip. It's probably going to be a part of a Great Australia and or New Zealand, just the general region trip. So you would likely be coming in from Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, Brisbane, maybe even over New Zealand. Who knows? But you've got plenty of options, and apparently now a nonstop from San Francisco, which is kind of fun.
It sounds like you could just do a massive wine tour from like Napa, Sonoma,
straight from Napa,
right into
Sonoma to
Adelaide.
Barossa. That's such a great idea.
Then hop over to New Zealand to finish it off.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We might have to put together a group trip. That would be fun. Points hotels. So actually also different to, I think, the other group recommendation so far here. IHG is the clear winner for hotels in the greater Adelaide area. They had 6 or 8 of them. Beyond that, Marriott and Hilton each have one Marriott and one Hilton brand hotel. It's not like a Fairfield Inn or Holiday Inn or whatever, or not Holiday Inn, but mid-level Hilton, like it is the main Marriott. I always feel weird saying that. It's like, are you saying the brand or the actual hotel itself? Maybe that's a branding problem on their behalf, but whatever. In Adelaide, there is one Marriott hotel and one Hilton.
But it's funny, because like if I booked the Hilton or the Marriott or the Hyatt, like, and it is the brand name brand.
Yep.
I would expect all of them to be like nice, but not like luxurious in any way.
Right.
Like nicer than a Courtyard, but not even on like Hyatt Regency level. Is kind of like where my expectations land.
It's funny you mentioned Hyatt Regency because there was supposed to be a Hyatt Regency. It was supposed to open back in 2023, and I didn't get too much details and all the drama about it, but the project got scrapped in late 2024, so they're not getting a Hyatt Regency, unfortunately. So I'm sure there's some tea to that story. I'd be curious to see, but it looked like it was supposed to be pretty nice.
Well, maybe that knocks it back to underrated. Despite
There you go. It keeps it underrated. Yeah, exactly.
If it had gotten that, there would be too many name brand
Yep. And points options. So
hotels. Yeah.
But here, similar to the others, I think your typical kind of luxury collection or boutique offerings, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, small luxury hotels, etc. There are a few options of those both in Adelaide as well as in the greater Barossa Valley region. So you've got some fun, unique options to use a couple different points on, which can be kind of fun than staying at a just boring main brand hotel.
So boring.
I know, it really is. So. But yeah, why you should go, as I mentioned, wine is what this region is kind of known for. And apparently the food is just supposed to be pretty phenomenal. The Adelaide Central Market is supposed to be on par with some of the best markets in the world. I don't know how many of these kind of markets you've been to. I've been to a couple of them, and I'm always just like, gosh, why couldn't we have this at home? Apparently Adelaide one is right up there with some of the best ones. And then it's actually kind of close to some spectacular beaches. So, you can get kind of the best of both worlds. Beach one day, wine the next day. Sounds like a good combo to me.
Why not wine at the beach?
Hey, there you go.
I know.
Right, there you go. That's true. So.
I literally have some rosés that are like, these are like pool and beach rosés. So
Nice. There you go.
Stock Tank Pool Rosé.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good brand.
Nice. But yeah, to me, this feels like a good place to go do a couple food tours. Maybe with some wine pairings and stuff too. I bet they have some good ones in Adelaide. So that's my pitch for Adelaide: wine and food, and a nonstop flight from San Francisco with lie flat seats. The only one so far that can make that claim.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there diving there? Do you know?
I'm sure there is. Yeah. I mean, it is an ocean.
Travis is about to book this trip, man. United flies there. They have
Scuba
wine,
dive.
and you can dive.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I'm going to the Solomon Islands to dive next year, and I was thinking of doing like Australia again beforehand. So,
Report back. Take a food tour. Let me know.
They apparently did have some artificial reefs and historical wrecks there. So,
Ooh.
well,
You're welcome.
Let's see if there's any actual availability on that route from San Francisco.
Right.
My hunch is not yet, especially since it's launching in December, which is like peak Australia season. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Matt. I'll round it out here. I want to tell you why Valencia, Spain is an incredibly underrated destination. And I told my fellow host this before starting, but I made this change like 10 minutes prior to us going on the recording here. I can't believe I didn't think of this, but I'm a big fan.
I'm already seeing reasons why it's the most overrated out of all of these. But go ahead.
Here we go. No
try to
volcanoes.
convince us. Yeah.
Can't even ride a boat on rough waves. Yeah, so Valencia, Spain. I have been there myself. I spent most of the summer there in 2019. Actually, as my first family travel trip, if you will. That was our first daughter was born. She was about 2 years old, I think, when we were there, and we absolutely loved it. Like the other destinations that we've talked about so far, it often gets overlooked because it's close to more popular regions. In this case, Barcelona and Madrid are not too far away. But there is a ton to do for families there. They actually have the biggest aquarium in Europe. I had an annual membership for 2019. That was fun. There's a small zoo. There's a science museum. They're all kind of right there together. And like fun fact, the architecture of them is super cool. It's what they used for like the evil headquarters in Westworld, if you've ever seen that show. Or also in Star Wars. Usually it's some sort of evil headquarters, but looks super cool and is quite walkable from most of the other popular spots in the city. They have absolutely fantastic beaches that don't have like the crowds, the glamour, the high price tags that you find other places in the Mediterranean. The thing that we really loved about the beaches in particular as family travelers is that you could walk out like 100 yards and it's like waist deep, just pure like flat sand the whole way. You know, I grew up going to like East Coast beaches in the United States where like it looks pretty, but there's like that shelf, like the kids shelf of death, like you take 2 steps and boom. But this was like absolutely perfect. You could crystal clear water, you know, drinks and food on the beach for like $5. Just absolutely great spot to visit. Great restaurants. The food scene is fantastic pretty much anywhere in Spain. But you don't have to like make reservations far in advance because it wasn't super crowded. And it's also still like close enough to these other places, Barcelona, Madrid, Sevilla, that you can tack it on to like a larger trip. So not necessarily your only spot to stop. And when we talk about getting there with points, it probably won't be.
Are you saying that its selling point is that you can leave it? Because that's what I'm hearing.
That's all I'm looking for in a selling point. Now, yeah. It's not an island that you're stuck on.
It's underrated because you can go somewhere else while you're there.
Yes. Yeah. So Valencia does have an airport. It's quite small. They don't have any direct flights to the United States. So you're probably going to be flying into Madrid or Barcelona or really any other European hub. I'm finding that, as I go to Europe more, especially with family travel, like my new go-to move is like stop in the hub for like 2 or 3 days. So like find availability to wherever, Munich, Paris, etc. Hang out for a couple of days and then fly on to where you want to go, because even if you get there all in one trip, you're going to spend the first day or two probably pretty jet lagged napping around anyway. Might as well do that right after your first flight. So
it's almost like you're practicing what we've preached on this pod before about just get across the ocean and then take it.
Yeah, the more I do it, the more I'm seeing like that's the case. I think so. I actually used the 10x award booking service for this, and on destination I just put over the Atlantic. And it's like that's truly all I care about. So lots of options to get there with points, as are with many major European destinations. Probably the easiest one to look at is going to be Iberia, where you can find flights for as low as 16,000 avios per person from the East Coast. Business class can be 40 to 50,000 points. Availability on that does tend to be better than other airlines. I'd almost say like reasonably wide open, but the product is not going to wow you. It will lie flat, like if you're in business class, but probably not going to
disagree with. I mean, it didn't wow me, but like it was fine. I'd honestly like rather fly it over like Lufthansa's old business class, because you at least have direct aisle access. And that's not so much a dig at Lufthansa, by the way, as it is like people talk about Iberia. And like
it gets a bad rap.
Iberia, but it's fine.
The bad rap is you're probably just not sure if you're ever going to be able to actually book the ticket because their technology is so bad.
Actually, that's absolutely right.
That's the problem with Iberia.
Yeah. So would we say Iberia is an underrated business class product? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah. But beyond that, you got your usual suspects. Flying Blue. You can find 25,000 miles per person in economy, 60K in biz. That's who we flew when we went there. Virgin Atlantic has all sorts of different deals. You can find 25,500 points as low as in economy, or if you want to jet over to London, what is it, like 5
Six.
I don't even
points
know
per
what to
passenger.
expect from Virgin Atlantic
Yeah.
anymore. Like I almost
Every
feel like
week's
they're
different.
gonna, like at some point they're gonna give me points to fly them. Is what it feels like. And I don't mean like a cash ticket, right? Like because of course they give you tickets to fly them on a cash ticket, but
Yep.
Yep. Or United,
Negative
booking for Air
miles.
Canada. Yeah, negative. Yes, but I guess one thing you can expect from Virgin Atlantic is the most fantastic customer service anywhere, with beautiful
or at least
accents that
the best hold music.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to insert that here into the podcast.
And also
gonna
the best salt and pepper shakers too. Don't
Ooh, I'm
forget
not-
those.
I'm
Oh,
not
do they have the
familiar.
little plain ones on
Yep.
Virgin? I know Virgin America had those before. I didn't know that Virgin Atlantic had those.
Here's a really dumb question: are you allowed to take them with you?
Yep. Yeah, they're
Okay.
encouraged.
Yeah.
Because I would anyway.
They're like single use. I mean, they're not plastic. But they're also not metal. So like you can take them home and use them.
Boom. Okay.
Just like
I love it.
I totally was supposed to take the blanket from the Etihad apartments. You're definitely
like-
supposed to take those.
Maybe not.
Right? Right?
Is there a warrant for your
yeah.
arrest somewhere?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one place you're not supposed to take the blankets from. That's going to be the Westin in Valencia. That's going to be a great place to stay on points and miles. Really,
But you
all
can
your
buy the
options-
Westin Heavenly
Yeah, the
mattress,
Heavenly
and if
bedding.
you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
and if you're a Marriott Platinum member, you can select a discount for your like annual benefit or something. So
I did not know they did that. That's awesome. But
yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to buy it. It feels like buying a rental car.
well, I think it's a new.
Well, it's not
mattress when you
used.
buy it, Bryce.
I would hope so.
It's not like
I'm
I
saying,
liked this specific mattress at this hotel
Yeah.
so much. I want to take this mattress home with
I'd
me.
like to
You could
order
just
the
sneak it
mattress
out.
from room 806.
Bryce's new challenge getting home is how he's going to check a mattress.
Done. Yeah, I'd still get home faster than Delta brought me home from from Italy. But hey. But yeah, for points hotels in Valencia, really Marriott's your only option. The Westin's probably your best bet. It's kind of close to everything. Nights around 50 to 60K per night. There's also an AC Valencia and a couple of higher end autograph hotels, but they were actually all surprisingly in that 50 to 60K per night range when I was looking at availability here right ahead of the call, and I mean that literally, as we talked about just before. But the thing about Valencia, and really I would imagine about all the destinations we talked about so far, is that this is where portal bookings can really come to shine. Because if you have places that don't have expensive nightly rates for cash rates, or you want to stay somewhere that's a little bit more unique, maybe closer to the magma, you can just look through the portal, get typically 1 to 1.5 cents per point at some more boutique properties and still be able to use points. Or just go with what I always do, stay at Airbnbs. There's just so many of them now. Many options at every single price range, especially great for family travelers. That's what we did. I would probably do that again next time we go back, but the Westin does sound tempting. Why it's worth your points? Easy to get to with good points value. You have tons of options on how to get there. Finding availability, especially for multiple passengers if you're traveling with others. You can combine it with another European stop, as I mentioned, if you want to do the old slumber party for a couple days.
Yeah,
in
you
a,
can go
a
somewhere
pub.
else.
Yeah, or a 2 to 3 hour
leave.
train. Just you can take a train out of there, which is the most appealing thing to me right now. But it is about a 2 to 3 hour train ride from Madrid or Barcelona, so easy to tack on with one of those. And as I mentioned, just so much to do with kids, like the that entire district that they have there with the aquarium and the science museum and such. You can spend multiple days there and not see all of it. It is incredible. My pro tip that I'll leave you with, this one's crucial for travelers. The secret to good sangria is put a splash of orange Fanta in it. I learned that on the beach.
Okay,
in
European
Valencia.
Orange
Fanta, correct?
Fanta.
European Fanta, that's right.
Oh
None
my
of that
goodness.
Okay, good.
toxic American
Oh.
stuff. Yeah.
There you go.
Ugh. I literally took a Fanta with me on the boat every single day. We had a little
European Fanta
fridge.
absolutely
It's
slaps.
So good.
Yep.
So good.
I can't say that I've ever had one.
Oh my.
What? So instead
Yeah.
of being like an orange flavored drink, it has actual like orange juice in it.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like the difference.
I'm sending you one right now, Emily.
It's
This is so great because every time I mention I haven't tried something, Matt sends a delivery to my house.
yeah.
And
Look,
Travis
Emily-
too. I did run out
Absolutely.
of Duke's Mayo recently, so
Do you want to let?
Is-
Do you want to? Should we just
US
side? Go ahead.
U.S.
Side quest.
Fanta. Hold on, before we do, I have a declaration to make. U.S. Fanta is like U.S. Fanta versus European Fanta is like New Zealand butter, which is US Fanta, versus Irish butter, which
I
is
was wondering if we
European
were going to get this
Fanta.
review. All right, so we're going to side quest into this. I don't even remember how it started, but it was butter, and what was the other item?
Cheese.
Oh, the
cheese,
cheese.
your
yeah.
everyday cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. Travis was claiming that Irish butter was better than New Zealand butter. And I said, I'm sorry, you're wrong. And so I sent them the butter from Costco. And I never got your feedback and review because it was right before you left, like months ago or whatever, however long you've been gone.
So I still haven't tried the cheese because I told you I was waiting till I was back.
Yeah.
The butter, like, it was fine. It was good. It's better than American butter, but like for my go-to, like, I want high quality butter, I just don't think it beats Kerrygold. I didn't think it was quite as like rich a flavor. So.
Kerrygold?
Is Kerrygold worth twice, potentially 3 times as much the cost of the Costco green butter?
Well, I don't have a Costco membership, so once
could.
I factored
Yeah, but
that in, it's
Matt-
probably break even.
Matt sent us enough.
Yeah, you have enough for like literally
I
a
have
year.
10 years worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need the membership.
That's correct.
Although we all know that like neither of them hold up to
No.
Bourbordier.
Oh, that's not even an argument.
Yeah,
That's correct.
no.
That is correct. Which I'm almost out of, and I'm contemplating a trip back to France just to go
Empty
get more.
suitcase trip.
Yeah, no, quite literally. Yep.
Gotta get some Fanta now too, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't you love the Takeoff podcast? Come for the points of miles advice, stay for the
Stay
butter
for the
banter.
butter.
You know,
Stay
like
for
Yeah, the butter banter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Butter banter.
we're gonna do some quick
gonna be
some
our new-
honorable mentions here as you wrap it up. Whether it be butter, cheese, or other underrated destinations. Totally
Hey,
up to
Bryce,
you.
hold on, Bryce. Hold on. You don't think you're getting off this easy, do you? I don't know how long we've been going, but
Is there
like,
butter under my chair right now? Do I really no?
like, did y'all catch how he tried to spin it as just like, oh, like in like everywhere else, do these portal bookings for boutique places? But like, he's got a Westin, an AC, multiple
Yeah.
autograph collections. Like,
Yeah,
virtually the rest of us were like, you pretty much have to book like this boutique hotel. He's trying to spin it and now get off of it before we forget.
Agreed.
You know, sorry, Bryce.
Wait, what are we forgetting?
You're trying to convince us that Valencia is more underrated than the rest of ours. You're trying to.
No, honestly, I'm not even gonna, after hearing y'all, like, y'all got the butter and the underrated destinations on lock. Like, I'll be having the Banter sangria, and I'm happy with it. I'm playing the family travel angle. What is the best family butter? Should we talk about that?
Not the Bourdier because your kids will just
yeah,
my
house it.
kids are
They won't
destroying it. I
appreciate
made the mistake of letting them try it, and now toast with French butter is their go-to breakfast. I'm like,
Toast.
how can I swap something in here? Yeah, they know the difference too. It's
Yep.
wild.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
But that's
sure
proof
they
of
do.
how good it is. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anyone want to toss out any honorable mention, like other destinations to look at, maybe lightweight details if you have anything to share?
Oh, I have a very specific one.
Yeah, Matt's like outline for his underrated one is basically the same length as his.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Another property that I haven't been to that I'm very excited to go. How many of you have heard of Biarritz in France?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Yeah, super underrated. It is in the very southwestern bottom corner of France, basically at the base of the Pyrenees, and it's this like beachside town. I mean, there's a couple of them in that area.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that reaction. Yep, I win in the secondary recommendations for sure. Apparently, this is where surfing first took off in Europe back in the 50s. So we were talking about surfing in Belize or Nicaragua, one of them earlier. So I thought that was kind of a funny connection. So yeah, super unique because it's literally on the border of the Pyrenees. So you get a heavily Basque/French culture combination. So that's kind of interesting and intriguing. Talk about food, personalities, arts, all that kind of stuff. Super intriguing. I think it's a good substitute for the French Riviera, Nice, Cannes, Monaco, all that kind of stuff. Presumably a fraction of the cost. I don't know that. I have not dug deep into a comparison, but it actually has good beaches for swimming. Most of the French Riviera beaches are not actually swimmable. They just look good on Instagram. And the weather is actually milder year round here because it's on the Atlantic Ocean, not the Mediterranean. So probably a little bit bigger season in terms of being able to travel there. And it's full of locals because it's actually a little bit hard to get to and not overrun with tourists and people trying to get their Instagram. So it's a super local place. So that's the city itself. The hotel, apparently this was like Napoleon's vacation home or summer home way back in the day. And it's literally a palace. And now it's a 5-star hotel. And drum roll, please, bookable with Hyatt points. 40 to 45K points per night. Yep. So if it was good enough for the emperors and the queens, it's absolutely sophisticated enough for even modern travelers.
Well, if there's one thing we know about you, Matt, it's that you're always trying to get your Instagram pic.
Yep. Big influence, big Instagrammer.
Yeah.
I think the last Instagram I posted was in about 2000. So.
You were early on the platform, sir, and also the internet.
Yes.
Yeah. When was Instagram founded?
2008?
2010.
Wow.
Oh, that means I had graduated high school when Instagram became a thing. Huh.
We sensed a subtle
Yeah.
dig there, young Padawan.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Enjoy
Emily's
your
younger
5-year
than
high
me.
school reunion.
Barely.
Can y'all tell that we haven't chatted in a while? Because we're kind of,
Is it extra spicy today?
Yeah.
just extra fun. So anyway, we were talking
I think-
about burritos, and then we were talking about Travis's high school years.
Yeah.
We keep going.
I've got some additional underrated ones to throw out. I don't think they're going to beat burritos. Honestly, like Googling that and looking at that, I'm like, I need to go there. So
Yep.
I don't think I'll beat it, but I'm going to throw out two. The first one I'm going to throw out is Panama, the country, not Panama City in Florida. Kind of like Nicaragua, also overshadowed by Costa Rica and Belize. I think a lot of people just think of like Panama City, but you've got like the Sandboss Islands. It's a place that's popped up on my radar a lot recently, and I honestly don't know too much with points. It's more just been like I've been looking at it and thinking about it and haven't fully committed to trying to research it, but there's a lot of honestly like similarities to Nicaragua. Less magma though.
magma,
Slightly larger canals.
Yeah. But getting away from Central America, I'm going to throw out Sharm el Sheikh in Egypt. A lot of people, when they head to Egypt, go to Cairo and do the pyramids. They do Luxor and Alexandria. Sharm el Sheikh is much more popular with European tourists. It's on the Sinai Peninsula. But if you're looking for some beach in that part of the world, like if you want to throw some beach time in during a trip to Cairo as well, absolutely worthwhile. It's subtropical desert, so it's like 80 to 90 degrees year round, which for the Texan, that sounds like really nice summer weather. Some people might think that sounds like way too hot summer weather.
Take your jacket.
Yeah, I know. Some of the best diving in the world is over there in the Red Sea. And you've got like unique cultures in the Bedouin culture. I've been out there and done meals with the Bedouin people, and it's just really cool, unique food. Plus, you can do historical excursions to places like Mount Sinai. And probably the best part is it is just incredibly cheap. So probably the most expensive hotel out there is the Four Seasons, which is like usually only like $300 a night. So if you book through a portal, especially with things like ones where you can boost the value of your points more now, like that could be like 15,000-ish points per night.
Yeah. For a Four Seasons.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also some really nice, like by their standards, like Renaissance and Sheraton resorts out there as well, which honestly, like it was hard to find them over $100 a night. So
Hot take, Renaissance and Sheratons in the rest of the world are awesome hotels. The U.S.,
Yeah.
they're terrible.
yeah. So it might be a bit of a ways to go, but if you're kind of wanting a under the radar by U.S. standards, if for some reason you're a European out there listening to this, you're like, of course, that's a good place to go. But a bit under the radar, more unique beachy destination in a part of the world where you might not be thinking of as beach destinations. It's a nice place.
Good shout out. I feel like these,
Panama.
last minute.
Panama, great choice. It's actually been on my radar for like a year because Copa added a nonstop flight from Raleigh to Panama City. Not really sure why.
Yeah.
But that makes it, I don't know. I think it's like a 3.5, 4 hour flight. I've literally been like, hey, maybe let's just go for a long weekend.
Yeah, there are some nice places out there that I've seen that
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, it's like, I call it like a tier 2 for me. Like, I think about it and look, but then always find somewhere that I want to go a little bit more, but eventually I'll make it out there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Emily, you have any hat tip honorable mention destinations to toss out?
Mine, I'm prepared for Travis to disagree with me again, but I'm going to throw out Port Douglas in North Queensland in Australia. I think it's underrated just because I think most people usually base their diving out of cairns or cans, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I have been listening to the British and American pronunciation in my headphones during this recording to make sure I say it right.
Cans,
sure I
like
still
beer
got it wrong.
cans. Which is how you say bacon in Jamaica.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people I base their trip out of there rather than Port Douglas. But the town of Port Douglas is super charming. It's really walkable. The food actually is way better than you'd probably expect it to be for it being such a small, kind of remote town. And also it's a great place to spend your day if your diving boat gets canceled because the winds are too high.
So here's why I won't disagree, because Port Douglas gets only about 700,000 annual visitors a year, whereas places,
I was one of them.
Yeah.
Places like Adelaide get about 4 million.
Yeah.
Wait, we're on a different category. That was the previous qualification.
Oh,
Yeah.
But well, here's an actual fun twist. Port Douglas gets more international visitors, so Adelaide is more popular with domestic travelers in Australia.
Interesting.
There you go.
Yeah. There also is I want to say it was the Grand Sheraton that I stayed at in Port Douglas, which
nice.
was like 35,000 points a night. I don't know. It was ridiculously cheap for being such a nice
grand?
resort. It was very grand. There were 7 pools. Cuz they don't really want you swimming in the ocean there, sharks and that type of stuff, so but yeah, highly recommend, and I stand by it being underrated.
One of my favorite Airbnbs we've ever stayed at was in Port Douglas.
Oh yeah?
Maybe I'll be nice and include a link in the show notes.
Okay.
This was also 7 years ago, so who knows if it's still an Airbnb.
Travis was in high school.
Yeah. Not old enough to get his own Airbnb.
Yeah. Airbnb probably didn't exist,
Yeah.
not that much longer, but
Surely, I feel like Airbnb is younger than Instagram.
now we have to look it up. Yep.
No, Airbnb started in 2007. Airbnb is older than Instagram.
Boom.
Wow.
They grew up together.
Yeah.
Actually, probably yes. They probably powered each other. I'll throw out 2 here, honorable mentions at the end. The first, Puglia region of Italy, specifically the town of Otranto. Spent most of the summer there. Great. I always tell people, it's the part of Italy that hasn't been invaded by Zara yet. That's how you know that it's underrated and untouched. As soon as Zara comes in, it's over. But just all locals. One of the kind of criteria that I use for did you pick a cool town to visit in Europe is if someone asks you as an American where you're from, because we don't usually get that as Americans, but I got that all the time there, which I'm oh sweet, this is off the beaten track. Loved everything about it.
When you get that question, how do you answer? Do you say the U.S. or do you say the state you're from?
Oh, I'm from Ohio, so I can't say the state because very few of them know it, except for usually the response is swing state. That's all they know about Ohio. So yes,
I always feel dumb when I answer that because my default is to say I'm from the U.S. and they're like, I know which state.
Yeah,
it's duh, you idiot. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and they already know you're from the U.S. and they take a look at your shoes.
You're doing it the hard way. Then the answer is I'm from Canada.
Eh?
Eh?
Yeah.
And then I did want to throw out one domestic destination here for the hashtag family travelers. Orange Beach, Alabama. I was there in 2019, and I think it always gets overlooked because most people don't think about the beach when you go to Alabama. I'm talking about just off of the Florida Panhandle. It felt like it was maybe 10 miles over the border. Very affordable domestic beach destination that's often overlooked. And there's kind of like a silver lining yin and yang story as to why that is. Like, it's all like new and beautiful. When I was there, I asked, like, why is this so much better than everywhere around here? They said it's because of the was it the Deep Horizon oil spill?
Oh, yeah.
When everyone who had beachfront property got like a settlement check, and they all used it to improve their restaurants, bars, and all that. And now you have like this kind of like beautiful brand new town that's there on the Gulf. It's fantastic for families. It's overlooked by everyone, very inexpensive, and we had a great time there not too long ago.
Is that like right up from Gulf Shores?
Yeah, same area. I think when I was there, they were filming that Floribama show.
Floribama
from MTV.
Shores.
You were on the show?
I mean, I
knew.
auditioned.
Oh, did we?
I was just too normal.
Oh, you're under contract. You probably can't confirm. All right, we'll
That's
we'll
right.
tell everybody
I still have an NDA, so
Yeah.
Bryce, I'm surprised you didn't throw out Uruguay. in this.
I didn't love Uruguay. Not like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, but like I don't think I'd go back, and I wouldn't recommend it above anything I've heard here on this and many other destinations. So like, yeah, it was okay.
You know, I don't see the timer, so I don't know how long we've been going. So I'll throw out two more quick ones for domestic travel. One that Matt is definitely going to agree with me, and that's Bentonville, Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
Is that Walmart?
Yeah.
Yep. Walmartville.
Yep.
Yeah, but like you're on the cusp of the Ouachita Mountains.
And you can get Mountain Valley.
Mountain
direct
Valley,
from the
straight from the source.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, you can get Mountain Valley bottled water straight from the source.
So it comes out of the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the country, and it's not a beach place. We've had a lot of beach places for sure here, so beautiful part of the country to go. And I'll also throw out because I went maybe 2 years ago for my friend's birthday. I guess maybe 3 because we're 33 now, and it was his 30th. To Broken Bow, Alabama, not Alabama. Goodness.
No.
Oklahoma, Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Are you sure it's not Broken Arrow? Is it both? Is there different? I've been to Broken
That was a
Arrow,
movie from the
Oklahoma.
90s.
So I'm curious about Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Broken Bow. Yeah, Broken Bow near Beaver's
Interesting.
Bend.
Okay. They got.
Oh yeah. Just down the
Just
road
around
from
the
Beaver's
Yeah.
Bend. Right.
I think I saw it in a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Wow, Broken Arrow looks very different from Broken.
That's
from
why I was like,
Broken Bow. Yeah.
How do you get to Beaver's Bend, Travis? Do you just turn left at Cat's Paw and drive down the road to Farmer's Field? And
My goodness.
Shout out to anyone still watching. We love you.
yeah.
We're just having fun at this point.
It's a really nice like little kind of mountainy town. Like it's not mountains, especially
The
Emily, in
mountains of
Colorado.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, but like it's hills. It's hills in a place that's normally flat. So the geographical topological diversity means they're mountains.
Okay.
No,
By that logic, the highway overpass in Columbus, Ohio is a mountain.
it's a great place for a like cabin in the hills, piney woods. You've got the lake there. Good hiking, like nice like little weekend trips as well. So I don't really know how
Broken
you do
Bow
it.
Tourism Department is going to absolutely love you.
Broken Bow in Hochatown. So
Oh yeah, right.
yeah, you can't forget Hochatown while you're there as well. So
How's the butter?
Yeah. Emily, your Fanta arrives on Friday.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Yeah, check the box for require signature. Make sure no one grabs
Yeah.
it.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I got a Nest notification just now, so maybe my Fanta is here right now.
I'm sorry, you've already had it, so you didn't get a delivery. Next pod, Emily has to give us a full review.
I feel like
Okay.
European Fanta is like Mexican Coke.
Okay. I get that.
I think it's better.
I would probably
But-
agree, but like same idea.
Yes,
that
correct.
It's
All right. Yeah, I'll report back.
Yeah.
Magma.
Magma.
If there's anybody still listening, thank you for making it to the end.
Well, now seems like a good time for me as host to move to the wrapping up section. The best part about underrated destinations, other than the butter and the Fanta, is that you are not just getting great point values, you're often getting more authentic experiences with fewer crowds. Don't be afraid to book somewhere you can't pronounce. We've had plenty of those on the show today, or haven't heard
Watch
much
out for
about.
Beaver's Bend.
Yeah. Some of the best travel memories come from taking chances on lesser known places that have not been invaded by Zara yet. Remember, just because a place isn't all over Instagram doesn't mean that it's not incredible. In fact, that might actually become the next incredible place that people want to go. We're here to help you do just that by helping you make the most out of your points and miles. Best way to do that is to sign up for our free tool called My10X. It puts the entire points and miles game on easy mode. You can easily track all your points balances, all your cards, managing in one place, including getting tailored suggestions for your next card. Check out our comprehensive course while you're in there as well, and track your redemptions, almost like a trophy case of sorts, so that you can remember the beautiful, underrated destinations that you went to. Please hop in the Facebook group. Tell us about any underrated destinations that we might have missed, places you've been that are a bit off the beaten track, or if you've been to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. If I had to wager, I don't think a single person in our Facebook group of 40,000 plus members is going to weigh in and be like, I've been there. But
I
bet they have. I bet they have.
Yeah.
now we have to hear about it. Okay.
But have they been to Beaver
especially-
Bend?
To Beaver's Bend.
Beaver's Bend. You can't go to Broken Bow without going to Beaver's Bend. So
I mean, like, that's the whole
That's what I
purpose of
hear.
going to Broken Bow. Broken Bow is just like the area you go to go stay at Beaver's Bend.
oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe I didn't know that, Travis.
I
Been
can't
all
believe
over
you
the
haven't
world,
been.
never been to Beaver's Bend.
It's on the list.
That's where my high school had band camp, so.
This one time at band camp in Beaver's Bend.
Oh no,
Well,
we're
off the-
devolved.
we were
I'm going to
worried
have
about
so
the
many
banter.
friends I have from high school I have to send to this episode, too.
Well, for all of us here at 10X Travel, this has
Bryce
been
is done with
Takeoff,
our shenanigans. He's
a
done.
points, miles, banter, butter, magma,
Magma.
diving podcast.
We also
talk to you next
apologize to
time.
anyone who lives in Broken Arrow because I realized I kind of had a bit of a visceral reaction when seeing an image of Broken Arrow. So, yeah, sorry for any of our listeners from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Note taken. So now go book somewhere amazing that no one else is talking about. Appreciate you listening and watching, especially if you made it this far. We will talk to you next time. Bye now.